So now it's time to address the optional essay, which is, and I'll read the statement of the optional essay. It says, please use this space to explain any career breaks, provide any other information not covered elsewhere in the application that could significantly impact your candidature at ISB. And these optional essays have two different personalities. One is, hey, do you want to explain something? Is there something wrong? And if you look at your resume, if you look at your recommendation letters, is there anything that you think we might have in mind? We might just think that, hey, why did he not tell us? And they're not going to call you to ask you that, hey, why did you miss those 3 months? Or what happened in that career? Why did you change so many jobs? So they're giving you a blank check, which essentially means that if I'm reading your application and I know you as a nobody, I don't know you at all. You're a stranger for me. And if I read your 3 essays, 400 words, another 300 words, 300 words, 1,000 words, and 2 letter recommendations, and if I put this entire piece together, and there is one spot, there's one weakness that I just write is visible in front of me, and I say, you know what? Let me check if this guy has explained something on the optional essay, because I gave you that blank check. I told you that whatever you think will bother me, put it right there. Like a low GPA, for example, or if you've not been working for the last 6 months, or you had a 5-month career break a year ago, right? If I see that, you can't hide it on the resume. If I look at your resume and you think they might as well not even notice it, so why should I make a big deal out of it? Just let me create first 3 very, very strong essays and let them just forget about it. That's not going to happen. So whatever you think they might have in mind, whatever you think will make them think that I wish I could ask them, this guy, why did this happen, right there in the optional essay. So that's the first category, first personality of the optional essay, which is, do you want to explain something? Is there anything which is not a very strong point on the application? Tell us about it. And something which is visible. Second personality of the optional essay is that hey, did you get a chance to showcase all your characteristics? Did you get a chance to showcase all the strengths of your candidature by using the combination of the first, second, and third essay? And we have seen your letter of recommendations, we have seen your resume. You also will be filling up your online application. If you think there is one more aspect in your life, one more aspect in your professional or personal life that you think will add a strong value, and you, when you read the ISB essays, when you created everything, you said, I wish I could also, and you were excited. You said, I wish I could also tell them this. And I could not get an opportunity. I could not get an opportunity in these essays to tell them about my that XYZ initiative, or a very strong group, focus group of professionals that I'm leading for this particular cause, or the new kind of product that I designed in engineering college and as an extracurricular that did not come out in any of the essays. And you had no other way of putting that information across any of the other essays. You say, you know what? I wish they had asked me this. Consider this. This optional essay is a blank check again for you. So some schools will have 2 different optional essays. Some schools will have one essay for explanation that says, hey, do you want to explain something? Are you wrong somewhere? Talk about it right here. Or have we missed anything? If you want to know more, if there's anything that will change your mind and say, you know what, we love this applicant because he has this, put it right here. With ISB, they have given you both the personalities in one essay that says, talk about either of them. So if you have certain dark stains on your resume, if you have take gaps on your resume, like a job loss will not be evident unless it's like it comes with a very strong gap after you lost your job. But changing too many organizations in a very short span of time, or low GPA, or you just made a switch before applying to ISB, you just made a switch like a month ago. If I were you, I would explain that you have your interviews in November and you change your job on October 1st. Why are you doing that? I mean, if you're starting your MBA in April and you're switching your job in October, that will not even give you enough time to make a strong impact on your employer. Explain that. Definitely explain that. For some of you, it may not be very strong, but I think it's a good practice that if you could not get a letter of recommendation from your immediate supervisor and you don't have any other gaps on your resume, if I were you, I would put that around. That, hey, you know what? I could not get a very strong letter of recommendation from my immediate supervisor, either because he was traveling or you were not comfortable enough in sharing the fact that you're doing an MBA, or even if you shared, you were not strong enough to take an obligation from him and say, you know what, please help me in writing my essay as well at times. So explain that. Explain your reasons for taking your letter of recommendation from other people. Right? Do that. That's absolutely fine. We've had somebody who went to ISB and they had gap in engineering. They could not be there in engineering between the second year and the third year. He got admitted to ISB, and we had to confront it. We had to tell the outcome, why did this happen? It's a medical emergency, whatever happened. And it had to be expressed right there in the optional essay so as to reduce the chances of an admissions committee member judging you by judging your character or your performance just by looking at the facts on your resume. So optional essay is the voice of that gap on the resume. Another characteristic, as I said, personality too. If you think, so first of all, personality too, where if there's anything else that we missed out from your application, don't just copy and paste another leadership essay into this spot. It's not going to happen. So it's an optional essay, but it still, if you fill it up, this essay will still contribute towards their knowing more about you. So have a structure. Tell them why you're telling them this. So if they don't have an essay topic, start with, why do you think you're talking about this particular incident? Why do you think ISB needs to know that? And tell them, what will you bring to the ISB community, either as a potential alumni or either as an existing student once you get there, or anybody who thinks he'll be associated with the program. Why do you think ISB needs to know about this? So let's say if you are mentoring, or if you're on the board of a school in one particular village in South India and you visit there twice a month, once a month, and you start randomly describing all the incidents. You said, been on the board of this school for last 10 years and I go there once in a while. We have hundreds of students studying there, and this is what I've done, this is what I've done. And you don't tell them why you're telling them all this. So don't give them the onus of assuming that, you know what, he helps poor and needy. He goes to schools and I think we should take him. That's not going to help. Tell them why you're telling them all this. And this is, I think, the very, very common mistakes that exists in all the essays, where you tell them something and I'll ask you, hey, so why do I need to know that? He said, geez, you should know I'm a good guy. Listen, I know, I get it. But what is the intention? What is the structure of this essay? Either you tell them that you have this thing in you where there's one part of your leadership that really likes to contribute to people around. And when you do that, once you see that, nurturing students, nurturing people, and once you help them get somewhere, it gives you an opportunity to reflect, bring focus in your life, and see where are you headed. Or even if you're helping somebody, you get to spend some proportion of your life, some area of your professional life, where you see, you know what, I get a strong sense of purpose. And I'm not simply an XYZ professional working in this industry with XYZ extracurriculars, but I think my intention of doing these activities brings a very, very strong sense of engagement that I have with people around me in the world. And if I am an ISB alumni, you should know this, that I come with this very, very strong sense of character, and if I use this ISB program, this will be like a bazooka for me. I have a very, very strong MBA. If I have a very strong MBA on my resume, and if I have this sense of character, this is what I'm capable of performing once I'm out there in the world. You know what I mean? So have an intention. Have an intention for this optional essay if you're using it for the personality too, and tell them why is this incident important for the ISB team. So thank you so much if you've made it so far, and I think it's been 45 minutes, 50 minutes. If you made it so far, I hope you loved the videos. I hope you loved the essay analysis for all the 4 essays. I will also be launching the analysis for several other essays for other schools in the weeks to come. And of course, you're welcome to go and sign up for Interview Ninjas if you if you want to get a detailed understanding of how to pick your situations, how to pick your leadership, teamwork, all the other things. And I look forward to working with you more and more. Thank you so much. I wish you best of luck.